Welcome to Mind Blow, the ultimate destination for jaw-dropping content that will surprise, inspire, and entertain you every step of the way. If you love discovering the unexpected, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share with your friends to keep the excitement going. Your support helps us keep blowing minds and creating content you'll never forget. So buckle up and get ready, because this is just the beginning. Imagine this. Dawn breaks and the sun blazes over the South China Sea as you cast your net from a small wooden banka, the gentle waves rocking your boat. The horizon stretches endlessly, promising a day's catch and the hope of providing for your family. Suddenly, out of the shimmering light, a massive Chinese Coast Guard ship looms into view, its steel hull casting a shadow that dwarfs your tiny vessel. For Filipino fishermen, this isn't just a nightmare or a rare event. It's a daily threat in waters their families have fished for generations. China's growing fleet asserts sweeping claims, patrolling these contested waters, and ignoring both international law and a landmark 2016 Hague ruling that favored the Philippines. But legal victories don't stop steel ships. Filipino fishermen are blocked from traditional fishing grounds like Scarborough Shoal, chased by water cannons, and outnumbered by China's vast Coast Guard and maritime militia. Their livelihoods and safety are constantly at risk. The Philippine Navy tries to help, but the imbalance is stark and undeniable. It's a David and Goliath struggle. How can a small nation resist a superpower without risking open conflict or war? The answer? Turn to those who know the sea best, the fishermen themselves, whose knowledge and resilience are unmatched. The Philippines is building a new kind of defense, a civilian ocean army. Fishermen, boat captains, and coastal residents are being trained to become the nation's eyes and ears, working alongside the Navy to monitor and report intrusions. Their small boats form a vast network, ready to protect their maritime heritage. They fight not with weapons, but with courage, cameras, and the power of truth, documenting every encounter for the world to see. This is a story of ordinary people standing up to overwhelming pressure. It's about transforming vulnerability into strength, and fear into unity. The battle for the South China Sea is no longer just about ships or territory. It's about the will and spirit of a people. This is their story, and it's still being written. To truly understand the Filipino response, we must first grasp the full scope of China's gray zone tactics, subtle, persistent, and calculated moves that blur the line between peace and conflict. China deploys its Coast Guard and disguised militia boats to intimidate, harass, and blockade Filipino vessels, always stopping just short of open war, but making their presence impossible to ignore. These fleets swarm the disputed waters, ramming boats, firing water cannons, and creating chaos, all while officially denying any responsibility for the aggression. The goal is clear: make life so difficult and dangerous for Filipino fishermen that they are forced to abandon their traditional waters, losing their way of life. If the Philippines dares to respond militarily, China can quickly escalate, claiming self-defense and shifting blame, further complicating the situation. This relentless pressure not only erodes livelihoods, but also sows deep fear and uncertainty in coastal communities, leaving families anxious for their future. Filipino fishermen lose access to ancestral fishing grounds, risking their boats, their gear, and sometimes even their lives, just to provide for their families. The psychological toll is immense, with stress and despair growing as each day passes under the shadow of conflict. China's strategy is to exhaust and outlast, to maintain a constant grinding presence, not to fight outright but to wear down resistance over time. Recognizing this, the Philippines realized it needed a new approach, one that could operate in the shadows, mirroring China's own tactics and adapting to the evolving threat. The answer emerged: empower ordinary civilians to document, report, and resist, turning China's own playbook against them and shining a light on their actions. The stage was set for a new kind of resistance, one built on unity, vigilance, and the courage of everyday people determined to defend their seas. The Philippines' answer to growing maritime threats is a civilian maritime militia, an organized force of volunteers, not professional soldiers, but ordinary citizens stepping up to defend their homeland. At its heart are the fishermen, seasoned experts of the sea, who now receive special training to protect their nation's waters and way of life. Supported by the Coast Guard and military, these volunteers are equipped with cameras, GPS, and radios, tools that transform them into the eyes and ears of the nation. Their mission is clear: observe, record, and report any foreign incursions or suspicious activities in Philippine waters. They're taught to navigate dangerous encounters, remain calm under pressure, and gather crucial evidence of harassment or illegal activity. This isn't about confrontation or escalation. It's about transparency, accountability, and protecting their rights. A single boat is vulnerable, but a coordinated fleet becomes a powerful surveillance network, covering more ground and deterring aggression. When these flotillas sail together into contested waters, they assert their rights, their presence, and their determination to defend their seas. It's a peaceful, united stand, citizens reclaiming their seas and sending a message of resilience to the world. The strategy turns the small boat's agility into a major advantage, allowing them to cover vast areas and patrol shallow waters that larger ships can't reach. Empowered and vigilant, these fishermen become active defenders of their homeland, not just passive victims of foreign threats. National pride grows as ordinary people take up the cause, inspiring their communities and uniting the nation. Cameras and courage become their weapons, capturing every moment and every challenge they face at sea. The civilian fleet is a game changer, shining a light on gray zone aggression and exposing actions that once went unseen. The world is watching, and the Philippines is ready to show its resolve and determination. This is a new era of maritime defense, built on unity, courage, and unwavering resolve. The Guardians of the Sea are rising, forging a legacy of hope and strength for generations to come. The Philippines isn't alone in this fight. Its most vital ally is the United States, bound by a mutual defense treaty that covers attacks in the South China Sea. U.S. Navy patrols challenge China's claims, while America provides training, equipment, and intelligence to the Philippines. Joint military exercises strengthen cooperation and send a clear message of unity. Japan and Australia also step up. Japan supplies modern patrol vessels, and Australia joins joint patrols. This network of allies forms a united front for a free and open Indo-Pacific. International support validates the Philippines' cause and raises the cost of Chinese aggression. When China acts, it now faces not just the Philippines, but a coalition of nations. This web of friendships is a crucial shield. It's about more than ships. It's about solidarity. Together, these nations defend the rule of law at sea. The Philippines' stand is now a global cause. For Filipino families, the South China Sea is survival. Fishing is their lifeblood. Chinese blockades force fishermen farther out, raising costs and shrinking catches. The civilian militia strategy helps reclaim their right to fish, with Coast Guard escorts and media coverage deterring aggression. It's about safety, dignity, and the right to work. But there's more at stake. China's island building and clam harvesting devastate coral reefs, threatening the entire ecosystem. The civilian fleet documents and exposes this destruction, raising global awareness. Protecting the sea means protecting food, jobs, and the environment. The fight is for future generations and the ocean's health. By defending their waters, Filipinos become stewards of a resource the world depends on. This is a battle for both livelihoods and nature. The Philippines drew inspiration from Vietnam, which faces similar threats in the South China Sea. Vietnam's fishing militia, integrated with its Coast Guard and Navy, is organized, equipped, and trained to document and resist Chinese harassment. Their reinforced boats and real-time communication make it hard for China to dominate. Vietnam's model shows the power of seamless cooperation, civilian, Coast Guard, and Navy working as one. This layered defense is flexible and resilient. The Philippines is adapting this blueprint, empowering its own citizens to defend sovereignty. Vietnam proves that persistence and organization can counter a larger power. The lesson: ordinary people, united and prepared, can be a nation's strongest shield. The Filipino fleet is following in these courageous footsteps. The Philippines Ocean Army is a story of unity, resilience, and hope for the future. Fishermen, once victims, are now heroes, armed with cameras, courage, and specialized training. Technology, smartphones, GPS, and satellite links transforms them into a powerful monitoring force for the nation. Their evidence exposes gray zone tactics and helps hold aggressors fully accountable. International allies amplify their efforts, building a secure and stable maritime environment. This alliance of democracies counters intimidation with strong cooperation and shared resolve. The battle for the South China Sea will ultimately be won with unity, not force. The Philippines is charting a new course, standing firm, leveraging technology, and strengthening vital friendships. Together, they weave a net of resilience that is stronger than steel. The call is clear. Stand together, protect the seas, and secure the future for generations to come.